How's it going, everyone? It's Corbin, and today I'm here to talk about the unused vehicle variants in Halo Infinite. So, to start off, we have the Wraith. By default, the Banished Wraith is covered in scrap metal, as you can see here, which is how it should be. But there's another variant, which is the Covenant Wraith, which is pretty much the same thing, but as you can see, there's no metal. So you got metal, and then you got no metal. Besides that, I'm sure the original Covenant vehicles were supposed to be purple, or using the default purple shader, but everything's using the red Banished one, so just pretend they're purple, I guess. But anyways, besides that, they also have different vehicle weapon configurations and stuff, so I'll show that just to compare the gameplay between the vehicles. As you can see, it handles and shoots and everything pretty normal. The mortar weapon and projectile in the tags is called the Reach Mortar. I'm not sure why. I feel like a lot of this game was originally supposed to be involving Reach. I think there was part of the game that was actually on Reach, but who knows. This is the Escherum Wraith, which is funny because it's in the Covenant variant, but it has this nice unfinished back guard on it, which, if you remember, the back is the weak spot on the Wraith. The weapon is also a concentrated beam, as you can see, which is about just as powerful as in the standard Wraith, but it's concentrated and it can aim directly at whatever you point, and shoots, instantly, so it's probably more powerful. Now, this is the Banished Ghost. It's missing its right gun for some reason, just ignore that. But as you can see, it has armor and this gun right here. So we got armor, banished gun, and armor. And then we got the Covenant gun and no armor. Now it's pretty interesting how we got the Covenant gun and the no armor. Again, it was probably originally purple. I'm not sure if the Covenant were, in the game too to fight the Banished, or if they were just the enemy at first and then they came in and were like, why is the Covenant still the enemy? I don't know what they were thinking, but there's a lot of stuff saying that the Covenant were in the game. And they even have vehicle variants. But as you can see, it behaves pretty normal. The weapon for the Ghost is just the normal Covenant one, but that's by default anyways. Here are the two default chopper variants that you can find in Forge or the game. Got the boss variant and the normal. And here's a third variant that was unfinished. As you can see, there's no material set up for it, and it appears to be even missing render model regions or something, as there's floating, weapons and stuff. But yeah, thought you might want to check this out, but there's not much to it, so let's move on to the next one. Next is the Mongoose with the tread, which is really cool looking. I don't know if this was supposed to go on like a sand or snow map, but obviously they never used it on this map or at all, so who knows what that was for. As you can see, kind of, on the normal Mongoose, it doesn't really move with the wheels, and I'm not sure if they're ever going to finish this, but it would be cool to see some of this type of stuff. They're probably going to make variants, like they do for the weapons, where they have like add-ons or, cosmetic stuff and not just colors and, texture changes. But here are all the turrets in the files for the default turret, which is funny, because the default turret just is used normally, but it still has the Ghost, the Oni rockets, from Halo 5, but these are actually default variants too. I'm assuming they were just going to port them over and use them, but never did. This is the Hannibal Scorpion. It's really lame because you can't see anything. All you can do is feel the damage. And this is the Covenant Banshee, which just uses Covenant weaponry still, which is very basic and using placeholder stuff. And lastly, we got the supply line vehicles. So they're pretty much standard variants, but they have these supply boxes, which are very similar to the FOB, boxes you get at the outpost. I'm assuming that supply lines relates to the Tatanka game mode like it usually does in the files, and these are like, things you can unlock for that game mode. But again, everything for that game mode that is in the files is extremely basic and placeholder, so who knows. But that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.